was a great idea that you started this thing. It is a
Thank you,
great
sir.
initiative.
Thank you, sir. So we are live on YouTube now.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, good. And what channel? You're on the Bliss Foundation.
No, no, it's on my channel, Sanskaar'sDen.
Okay.
Sanskaar has got a channel.
Yeah.
No, he's done a great job to the run-up. He's really worked hard, and I'm sure we'll have some wonderful exchange of ideas. For an eighth standard to be able to think so wide so wide and big is something incredible. मेरे को लगता है 8th standard में हम लोग कुछ सोचते ही नहीं थे इसमें क्या हमारे पास तो मतलब ये सब
Good morning, Rashmi.
Yeah.
Good morning, Rashmi.
Good morning, ma'am.
आपका अनम्यूट नहीं है.
Ma'am, you are
रश्मि का
muted.
अनम्यूट नहीं है.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Nidhi.
Good morning.
And good morning, Sanskaar. I can't see. Yes, Sanskaar is there. Okay.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning,
Good morning,
one and all
everyone.
present here.
Can we
Honorable
start?
judges and all my fellow contestants. I am Sanskaar Arora of class 8 from the Marchiner for Boys, Calcutta. Today, we all have gathered here to be a part of this unique online cancer awareness campaign. Friends, we all know that cancer is a very deadly disease. About 80% of the cases are caused by tobacco consumption. Smoking affects the heart and lung in a very dangerous manner. Effects of smoking on children and teens are intense. Teenagers start to smoke from a very young age, and it builds up a foundation of diseases in their body. Teenagers often mistake smoking as something fashionable and get involved in smoking from a very young age. I have seen instances of cancer and have experienced loss in my own family and amongst my parents, friends, and relatives. The pain and agony which I have seen deeply saddened me, and it gave me an objective to start a campaign against the harmful effects of tobacco among the children of my age group. The Bliss Foundation Delhi has given me this opportunity to organize this event to bring together the young creative minds and find some novel solution to this problem, thereby creating cancer awareness. Words fail me, but you didn't. I wish I had my words to express my gratitude for the efforts that all participants have put in their presentations, bringing out their creativity in such a constructive manner, thereby joining us in this noble cause. Friends, we have got an enormous response from students across India, and we have received more than 100 presentations with several rounds of in-house discussion with the team of Bliss Foundation. It was difficult for us to select the best 10 and place them for the event today. I would like to convey my best wishes to all the selected participants for the competition. Let me introduce our team of esteemed judges. Mr. Sanjay Seth. He is the founder and trustee of Sambandh Health Foundation, Delhi. He shifted to the social sector in 2010, tobacco control, where he has been among the transformative leaders to make a significant impact in the country. Next is Dr. Pawan Gupta. He is a senior surgical oncologist. He is presently a director, surgical oncology, Max Institute of Cancer Care, Max Super Speciality Hospital, Vaishali and Patpatganj. He runs tobacco cessation workshop and has a tobacco cessation clinic at Max Hospital. He is also the founder and advisor of I Can Care. Next is Dr. Harit Chaturvedi. He is the chairman of Oncology, Max Institute of Cancer Care, and he has a vast experience of almost 30 years in oncology. Next is Dr. Geeta Kadyaprat. She is the director, breast surgical oncology at Max Hospital, Patpatganj, Noida and Vaishali. She has been associated with surgical oncology for the past 18 years with special interest in breast cancer. She is also the co-founder of Bliss Foundation. Next is Mrs. Rashmi Golia. She is a soft skill trainer and a TV theatre artist, Bhopal. Along with other social works, she is working for saving and promoting the handlooms and sari wearing culture. She is the brand ambassador for Tara Lifestyle National Exhibition. Next is Mrs. Reva Kumar. She is the president of Bliss Foundation, a fashion designer and the businesswoman. Let me explain the rules of this event. All the presentations must include the magnitude of the problem, harm that can be caused by the use of tobacco, possible efforts that can be made as children to eliminate the problem, various effects such as transition, animation and multimedia aid may be used. All the presentations will be judged on the basis of the presentation of the project, understanding of the project, originality of the idea, explanation of the project, and novelty of the solutions provided. Each participant will be given 5 minutes, 3 minutes for presenting the presentation and 2 minutes for questions by the judges. So let's put our hands together for our first participant, Shrika Somsetti. You may share your screen.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. I am Shrika Somisetti from Class 8. Today I am going to talk about an important topic, awareness against tobacco. From the temperate climates of America, tobacco traveled far through natives, Europeans, and Aztec nobles. And by the time of Columbus landing on San Salvador, tobacco had reached across the continent and nearby islands in the form of barter. There are various forms of tobacco, some of which are cigarette, cigars, dissolvable products, snuff, e-cigarettes, and water pipes. Now let's take a look at the components of tobacco. Tar is a residue that's left behind in our lungs after the incomplete burning of chemicals in a cigarette. This inflicts biological and physical damage in our lungs, which may encourage tumors and make it difficult for our lungs to expand and contract properly. The dangers of tobacco are known but not taken seriously. Lung cancer, oral diseases, poor vision, high cholesterol, cervical cancer, blood cancer, and many more are the consequences. Society never respects a tobacco consumer. Consuming tobacco causes loss of concentration, which leads to dropping out from schools, colleges, and jobs, leading to economic loss. It also causes loss of respect. And it's not only the person who smokes, but also the person who inhales the smoke at risk. When tobacco is inhaled, nicotine, a hazardous substance, inflicts biochemical reactions in our brain, which are interpreted as rewarding. It also acts on our adrenal gland, which forces the release of adrenaline, which triggers emotions in our body. All these actions make the person feel refreshed, due to which he continues consuming tobacco, leading to addiction. Now just take a look at these pictures. How do you feel now? If just seeing these pictures make you feel disgusted, then please think of the people going through it. What can we do to stop this spread? By spreading information among our friends, relatives, and family members, taking part in campaigns, and if anyone offers us tobacco, we should say straight no, because we should preach what we practice. And I request Indian government to establish rehabilitation centers in every city to abstain smoking. Quitting is hard but not impossible. We can do this by indulging in new hobby, exercising, seeking medical help, using Nicotex, talking with your loved ones, being firm on your decision, starting meditation, and removing all the tobacco articles from our house, office, and cars. Seeing this, we can imagine that how tobacco is one of the biggest reasons for deaths across the world. Now, can you imagine a 2-year-old boy smoking 40 cigarettes a day? Not possible, right? But it's a fact. Every year, World No Tobacco Day is celebrated on 31st May, created in 1987 by WHO. This day, people strive to make the world tobacco free by spreading awareness regarding it. Once ashes of a burnt tobacco said, "Today it's me because of you, but tomorrow it will be you because of me. Quit it before it quits you." Thank you.
What a great presentation, Shrika. Judges, over to you now.
Okay, so Sanskar, can we ask a question? Like I have one confusion.
Yes.
Okay. Very well presented, Shrika.
Thank you.
In your first or second slide, you wrote one thing. It can be caused by water pipes. This is new thing for me. So I would just like to know how can it be caused by water pipes?
Ma'am, it's also a form of tobacco in liquid form. Like it's like an perfume which we can spray in our spray in our mouth.
Okay. Mouth freshener, kind of mouth spray.
Yes.
Yes, those kinds of things. Okay. Good. Thank you.
Shika, if tobacco is so bad, why does the government not ban it?
Sir, because banning tobacco also needs the consent of the public, as most of our population, even though knowing the consequences of tobacco, continue smoking tobacco. So even if the government bans it, our people should also be not aware that they should also stop smoking.
Shrika, do you know of anybody in your school who has taken to this habit, or you seem to think is on the verge of taking up this habit?
No, ma'am, I have not encountered any person.
Do you think you would be able to influence even one person who, is wanting to take this up?
Yes, ma'am, definitely. I will try my best.
So I think the seeds of revolution will be sown at your end, and that is where the change will happen. So the government does not want to do much about it because it does bring in revenue. If you were to look at everything in terms of revenue, then you will not be able to be the torch bearer of that change. Very well presented, Shrika.
Thank you.
Moving on to our second contestant, Anvisha Jain. You may share your screen.
Okay. Hello everyone, this is Anvisha Jain and today I am going to show you my presentation on the topic tobacco. So let's start. Tobacco product made by leaves of plants by curing the plant. Tobacco companies kill their best customers. Effects from tobacco to body. Tobacco used to be most commonly affect our hearts, lungs and livers. Tobacco use is the single greatest cause of preventable death globally. Be brighter, put down the lighter. Health effects from tobacco. Cigarettes are the another form of tobacco. Smoking them most commonly leads to diseases, the hearts and lungs, and will most commonly affect such as hands and feet. Warning, smoking can kill you. Tobacco is the leading cause of preventable death. The tobacco epidemic is one of the best public health threats the world has ever faced, killing more than 8 million people a year. Around the world, more than 7 million of those deaths are the result of direct tobacco use, while around 1.2 million are the result of non-smokers being exposed to second-hand smoke. If you can stop smoking, cancer will. If you were asked to describe the relationship between tobacco smoking and cancer, you might immediately think of lung cancer. It's true that smoking tobacco products, including cigarettes and cigars, causes almost 9 of every 10 cases of lung cancer, but smoking can cause cancer almost anywhere in your body, including the bladder, blood, kidney, liver, lungs, mouth, and throat. Cigarettes, you take my breath away. Stop. Stop smoking and stay healthy. Thank you.
This was a very insightful presentation, Anvisha. Over to you now, judges.
Hi, Anvisha.
Very
Yes.
good presentation. I have a small question. Other than cancer, tobacco also causes a lot of other diseases.
Yes. Yes, sir.
And those are?
Sir, cancer, ma'am, sir, lungs, lungs problems, and it can damage our kidneys and all.
And heart also, yeah. Heart
Yes.
and strokes.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Good, good. Very good presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Anvisha, it was a wonderful presentation. I just want to ask you one question. One of your slide you have written it causes bladder cancer. What is this bladder?
Sir, it's a internal body part. So, sir, from where the blood goes from there. So, sir, if we if we smoke, so it can harm our bladder and all the body parts. It can damage and.
Okay. It was a good attempt, Anvisha, but bladder is basically the urinary bladder. Yeah, that's the जिसमें पेशाब की थैली जिसको बोलते हैं ना,
Yes.
that's the urinary bladder, right?
Okay.
So that urine is formed and that it is collected in the bladder and that it is passed out, right? So that is one of the commonest cancer that is caused by tobacco, right? Very good, Anvisha, and you have done a wonderful job.
Thank you, sir.
Moving on to our third contestant, Dvija Pancholi. You may share your screen. क्या हुआ? क्या हुआ?
Is my screen visible?
क्या बीच में बोल रहा?
Yes, Vijay, we can see your screen. You want to put it on full screen?
Thank you.
Conversation खत्म.
Yeah, I'll just switch on the slideshow. So today I'm going to tell you about the harmful effects of tobacco. Tobacco is basically a plant which is indigenous to Americans. Now it has grown across the world, and it contains addictive chemicals which are also cancer causing, and some of them are polyatomic hydrocarbons. Harmful effects of tobacco contain that a person who is smoking or eating tobacco loses 10 to 11 years of his life on average. He can also lose more than that. A person eating or smoking tobacco also has cancers, heart diseases, lung disease, and other harmful health effects. Harmful health effects begin before birth, as a lady who smokes or drinks tobacco gives birth to a baby who has a high risk of congenital disorders, cancer and lung diseases, sudden deaths, and heart diseases also. Now, are kids consuming tobacco nowadays? The answer to the question is yes, because nowadays a lot of teenagers as well as kids have started consuming and eating tobacco. They do not understand it now, but it can cause a great harm and also result in a series of unfortunate events in their lives. Now, it can also cause them more harm than it can cause an adult because they are at a young age. These are some of the harmful effects tobacco can cause. It can cause head or neck cancer, it can cause lung cancer, it can cause leukemia, stomach cancer, kidney cancer, pancreas cancer, and colon cancer as well. Some chronic diseases include stroke, blindness, gum infection, lung diseases, and asthma. This is a picture of mouth cancer caused through eating of tobacco. It can also cause stroke and lung cancer as well. How can we stop it from spreading across the world? We can spread awareness. We can tell our friends and people we know to stop eating and consuming tobacco. And we can also tell the people who know us and are like also want to stop this from spreading. We can tell them to do the same things. Thank you so much.
Judges, over to you now.
Great presentation, Vijay.
Thank you,
Uh,
sir.
you said that tobacco causes all kinds of diseases. Is it only by smoking, or are there other forms of tobacco also?
There are other forms of tobacco, like eating tobacco. Nowadays, tobacco comes in different kinds of forms. Like there are pretty forms. Like it also nowadays comes in things like pan parag and all kind of things. Mommy.
Dvija, good presentation. So Dvija, you talked about pan parag and pan masala, but you do know that lots of times our, heroes in the films, the superstars, so-called superstars, endorse these products. So what is your take on them? How do you take on these people who endorse? Because, a lot of kids, especially, teenagers and all, look up to these people for inspiration. But if they start, endorsing these products, how do you stop them?
Ma'am, we can also start spreading awareness. We cannot directly talk to them, but we can ask the government to do so.
Yeah. And what else? Because you people are so social media savvy, there is so much that you can do on the social media to create.
Yes, ma'am. We can also tweet about them. We do not have their personal number, so we can also we cannot technically WhatsApp them, but we can post their messages on Instagram and Facebooks also.
Sure. Good. Thank you.
That was a wonderful solution, Panchali. Dvija, that we can definitely put on the social media against this these heroes and heroines who are promoting tobacco. Dvija, you said in one of your slides that teenagers are using tobacco, right?
Yes, sir.
And you say that lot of their teenagers. So what percentage of the teenagers must be using tobaccos? Like, let us see in your class, right? In your class, how many of them would be using tobacco?
So actually, I don't think anybody in my class specifically eats tobacco, because every class are every year our class gets shuffled, and this year I did not get to meet any of my friends and classmates, so I haven't seen them personally. That is why I don't know. But in my earlier class, not a lot of people. Actually, I don't think anybody in my class used to eat or smoke tobacco.
Yes, Dvija, that is what I wanted to impress upon you and all, that tobacco is not used by most of the teenagers. It is only few who have been misguided or something, they only use tobacco, right? So do not get carried away with the thought that everyone is using, teenagers are using tobacco. Only very few are using tobacco, right? Hardly 9% to 13% of the people are using tobacco, and they have been misguided by somewhere, right? That was a wonderful presentation. Thank you.
Very well done.
Thank you, sir.
Moving on to our fourth contestant, Vedika Chaudhary. You may share your screen.
Yes. Hello everyone, I am Vedika of class 6D and I am going to talk about an important topic, tobacco. Say no to smoking and tobacco, it causes cancer. How does smoking and tobacco harm our body? Smoking Smoking can cause cancer and then block your body from fighting. It poisons in cigarette. Smoking can weaken the body immune system, making it harder to kill cancer cells. When it happens, cancer cells keep growing without being stopped. Poisons in tobacco smoke and damage or change a cell's DNA. Now you will be thinking, what is this word cancer? Let me tell about you all about cancer. What is cancer? Cancer is a group of diseases involving abnormal cell growth with the potential to invade or spread to other parts of the body. These contrast with benign tumors, which do not spread. Possible signs and symptoms include alarm, abnormal bleeding, prolonged cough, unexplained weight loss, and a change in bowel movements. While these symptoms may indicate cancer, they can also have other types of cancer affect humans. How does cancer takes place in our body? Cancer happens when cells that are not normal grow and spread very fast. Normal body cells grow and divide and know to stop growing over time. They also die. Unlike these normal cells, cancer cells just continue to grow and divide out of control and don't die when they are supposed to. Types of cancer: bladder cancer, breast cancer, colon, colorectal cancer, kidney cancer, lung cancer, non-small cell lymphoma cancer, lymphoma, non-Hodgkin, melanoma, oral and original cancer. What is the magnitude of the problem? The development of nanoparticles (NPS) for use in all facets of oncological disease detection and therapy has shown great progress over the past two decades. NPS have been tailored for use as contrast enrichment agents for imaging drug delivery vehicles and most recently as a therapeutic component in initiating tumor cell death. In magnetic and photonic ablation therapies of the many possible core constitutions of NPS such as gold, silver, carbon nanotubes, fullerenes, manganese oxide, lipids, missiles, etc. Iron oxide or magnetic based NPS have been extensively investigated due to their excellent supermagnetic biocompatible and biodegradable properties. This review addressed recent applications of magnetic NPS in diagnosis, treatment and monitoring of cancer. Finally, some views will be discussed considering the toxicity and clinical translation of iron oxide, NPS, and the future outlook of NP development to facilitate multiple therapies in a single formulation for cancer therapies. Thank you.
Over to you now, judges.
Vedika, how do we stop the spread of tobacco use?
We can stop it by social media, as all are using social medias. We can make posters for this, and we can also stop it by making ads on Instagram, Facebook, and all that.
Are you doing some activity in your school to increase the awareness about harmful effects of tobacco? Are you aware of any?
Yes, when we were in fifth last year, we were having some prayer services. In that, we show that how to stop them.
Good, very good. Thank you.
Welcome.
That was quite engaging. Moving on to our fifth contestant, Rishi Raj. You may share your screen. Rishi, are you there?
Yes, I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, your screen is visible.
Good morning to all the judges. I, Rishiraj, a student of GATM Public School, am going to present a PPT on the harmful effects of tobacco. First of all, I would like to start with its biological effects, as it is the most important point in these harmful effects. Biological effects. It not only develops several pathopsychological changes in the body, but also develops tolerance to its own action with repeated use. Tobacco also contains nicotine, which is a highly addictive psychoactive drug. It causes psychological dependency. This was the most important point, as everybody know that nicotine is the main problem, which nicotine drug is supplied without any rule or depending on the rules. Tobacco use leads mostly common to diseases affecting the heart, liver, lungs, which are mostly affected due to this tobacco. Now, I would like to tell you about the magnitude of this problem. While searching for the magnitude, I was also shocked to know that these data suggest that 44,200 oral cancer cases in Southeast Asia annually occur among smoking, drinking, chewing exposed subjects, and 40,400 of these are exclusively associated with interaction affected. Now I would like to tell the efforts which can be made as children to eliminate the problem. The most important point, first of all, children like us should keep distance from smokers, as we all know why. We as children can eliminate the problem by taking small steps such as spreading awareness of its harmful effects by pasting posters about its effect. We can tell its effect in simple language to illiterate people as they start smoking at young age and they do not know its harmful effects. We can also do small campaign in village, Nukkad Natak, which is an easy understandable method through which it can be done by the help of our school. And according to my experience, I also have done Nukkad Natak in these villages. I have seen a rapid change in those villages as people were just people from faraway places came to see our Nukkad Natak, which was quite embarrassing. Wait. We can tell or advise the smokers for stopping this by telling them about the future. That is, they can be told its harmful effects, its measures, which can make them a burden on their family, as we have seen in many TV ads. We can ask our parents to appeal in the court for making smoke-free policies. Thank you.
Over to the judges now.
Are you aware of some policies against tobacco? Are you aware?
Sir, many policies are made for this stopping this tobaccos. As you can see, and the packets of those tobacco or this chewing gums and this type of things. Many let's say no to tobacco, and many these type of pictures which are very disgusting are made, but no one stops by seeing them, as because of that drug which is nicotine. They make them highly addictive.
Sanjay Seth is here. I will request him to just comment how he made a change in policy. He helped in making a change. I want all of you to realize the power you have, because Mr. Sanjay Seth and his campaign led to the formulation of certain policies by central government. Sanjay ji, ये एक अच्छा मौका है बच्चों को पता चलेगा how they can empower and bring change in the society.
Yeah. Thank you. Firstly, thank you, Dr. Harit. that if you see all the tobacco packets, you will see these as Rishi said, there is dirty pictures on top of it, and yet people use tobacco. But if you want to create awareness about tobacco harm, where is the best place to create that awareness is to put dirty pictures on the packet itself, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So earlier it used to be only written on packets, that
Yes, sir.
tobacco
Those
usage
policies
is
were made,
harmful.
and then the government asked them to make this picture so that people stop, but they didn't because of that nicotine. They're highly addictive of this drug, so they can't stop, sir.
Correct, correct, absolutely. So why do you think, Rishi, that even when they see these dirty pictures, they know it is harmful? Why people can't stop using tobacco?
Sir, I cannot say about literate people, but I can say that illiterate people might not be affected by this picture as they are illiterate. They don't know that what it can cause. So we can do small things such as campaigns in villages such as Nukkad Natak, which I also have done. And
Very good.
according to my experience, it is a very good reason for stopping this.
Excellent. Yeah, excellent idea. Excellent solution for spreading awareness. And do you think that once you go and tell people to stop, you yourself become more committed, or your team, your other fellow students who go and do the
Maxla को चुप
Kurnatak,
कराओ.
they also become more committed to anti-tobacco campaigning?
Yes, sir. Me and my friends have done many these type of anti-tobacco, these campaigns and all that. And I am from many years and from since fourth class I am doing this, and I think it has given a very positive effect on.
Therefore, you would never touch tobacco yourself, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's the other thing I think all of us need to remember, that when we take ownership, when see this whole process, for instance, you made these presentations today, it is less likely that you will now go and experiment with tobacco, because your awareness is not just what somebody is telling you, but it is something which you have yourself found out, you have done research on it. So your participation is very important. So your colleagues and your friends and your fellow students, their participation in anti-tobacco is very important. And that I would so it's excellent that this program is being organized. My compliments to all of you for taking part in this. Yes. So back to.
This presentation really caught the judges' eyes. Moving on to our sixth contestant, Aditi Gupta. You may share your screen.
Yes, just a minute. Will you please move on to the next participant? I need 1 minute. There's some problem.
Yes. Okay, fine. I'll just do that. Moving on to our next participant, Satwiki Mishra. You may share your screen.
Is it visible?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Cancer awareness among people. Common cancers among men are prostate cancer 26%, lung cancer 14%, colorectal cancer 13%. Common cancers among women: breast cancer 31%, lung cancer 13%, colorectal cancer 10%. The darkest part shows in this donut chart prostate cancer among men and breast cancer among women. Lighter than that represents lung cancer, and the lightest part shows colorectal cancer. The most common cancer in the world is lung cancer. The main cause of lung cancer is tobacco among both men and women. This is a kind of epidemic, which means it is a kind of disease that it is because it is one of the biggest threats the world is facing. China has the most tobacco users and India has the most smokeless tobacco users. Not only tobacco, the smoke of tobacco is also very harmful. Some of the chemicals in the smoke of tobacco are ammonia. It causes immediate burning of the eyes, nose, throat, and respiratory tract, which is also known as respiratory system, and can result in blindness, lung damage, or even death. Breathing of low concentrations can cause coughing, nose, and throat irritation. Hydrogen cyanide. Breathing small amounts of hydrogen cyanide may cause gasping, which means we are unable to breathe, irregular heartbreaks, seizures, fainting, and even rapid death. Generally, the more severe the exposure, the more severe the symptoms. Polonium 210, also known as carcinogen, when inhaled, it causes lung cancer. When swallowed, it becomes concentrated in red blood cells, which means getting mixed up with red blood cells, which is very harmful. It can even spread to the livers, kidneys, bone marrow, gastrointestinal tract, also known as digestive system, and the testicles or ovaries. Benzene. Benzene causes harmful effects on the bone marrow and can cause a decrease in red blood cells, leading to anemia. It can also cause excessive bleeding and can affect the immune system, increasing the chance for infection. In this scenario, it is very important to build our immune system well. Weaker our immune system, higher the chance of infection. Children can also help to eliminate the use of tobacco by having a discussion with their parents and friends, by telling the harmful effects of tobacco and asking them to discuss it with their colleagues, friends, neighbors, and relatives. Second, making sure that when they grow up, they themselves or their friends do not use tobacco or cigarettes. Thank you.
Over to you now, judges.
Well, it was a wonderful presentation. And can I ask one question? You have shown in the second slide, you have shown a wonderful picture, Satviki, where there was three, in the second slide, there was one person who was smoking, and there was a female, and then there was a child, right? So, what did you want to depict on that picture? What does it depict?
Like as there is a child, his immune system is very weak, so the smoke of tobacco can be very harmful to that child.
Yes. What type of harm? What do we call that? What type of harm it can cause? In this thing, right?
I've shown in that slide only that it has many chemicals, so it can
No, I'm just talking about a generalized. Satviki, I understand you have already mentioned the chemicals and so many pollutants, but what do we call that? How does it affect the children, those who are not smoking? See, there are only two types of people in this world: one who smoke, the others who do not smoke, right? So how are these people, these children who are not smoking, they are also affected by these chemicals? What do we call that? What do we tell them? How do we?
Because they are inhaling, so the chemicals present in the smoke are entering their body.
So this is what we call it as passive smoking or second-hand smoking.
Okay, sir.
Right. So passive smoking and second-hand smoking is even more harmful than active smoking, and that is what was wonderfully depicted in that slide. That even the females, the children who are not smoking, they also get affected.
Thank you, sir.
Every one of us needs to be very careful not to be with anyone who is smoking or taking tobacco in any form. Even the splash tobacco can cause harm. Very nice, Satviki.
Satviki, have you seen that poster behind Dr. Pawan Gupta?
Yes, sir.
On his picture? He is
Yes, sir.
working for the children only. That he has brought this Chota Bheem cartoon. Na Chota Bheem, what do you call upon?
Sir, it
Cricket.
is just an animated boy.
Animated boy. So their awareness about the how the harmful effects on children take place. Wonderful.
Thank you, sir.
That was a great presentation. Moving on to our next contestant, Ananya Thakur. You may share your screen.
Is it visible?
Yes, yes.
Smoke away your bad habits, not lungs. Hello and good evening to honorable judges and to my worthy competitors. I am Ananya Thakur of 6th grade and today I am going to explain on the topic awareness about the harmful effects of tobacco. What is tobacco? Tobacco is a plant. Its leaves contain high level of addictive chemical nicotine and many cancer-causing chemicals. The leaves may be smoked in cigarettes, cigars and pipes. In addition, as many as 16 countries use child labor in the production of tobacco. Smoking and COVID-19. There are currently no studies that have evaluated the risk of COVID-19 infection among smokers. As we all know that COVID-19 also affects respiratory organs, so the smokers should be more careful during this pandemic. Magnitude of tobacco. Over here, it is in the percentage of deaths that was caused in 2019 in various countries. In India, it was 53%. In Japan, it was 24.2%. In China, it was 21%. In England, it was 16%. And in America, it was 5.8%. Now over here, it is in a bar graph form. Now in a pie chart form. Harmful effects of tobacco. Tobacco affects two things. First, environment and second, health. It affects environment because it is non-biodegradable. The bud of a cigarette is primarily the filter made of a type of plasticized cellulose acetate. In health, there are two types of smokers. First, active smokers and second, passive smokers. Active smokers are the ones who use it and passive smokers are the ones who inhale it. It can harm our health by following: nose congestion and infections, increased risk of lung infection, pneumonia, increased heartburn, increased risk of ulcers. We need to quit and save money. To prevent tobacco, there are two ways. First, we can restrict and second, we can educate. We can restrict by increasing the price, ban sales to minors, graphic warning labels, and ban tobacco advertising. We can educate at school and through mass media campaigns. Now it's the time for news. 3.6% reduction in the proportion of adults ages 30 and older who use tobacco in the world. 14.8% reduction in the demand among young people ages 13 to 29 in the world. 7.2% percentage reduction in the proportion of young adults ages 19 to 29 who use tobacco in the world. World No Tobacco Day is on 31st May. We are drinking RO filtered water, eating organic food, going to gym to maintain our health. By all these things, we are keeping our health fit. So we should reduce this harmful thing too, to keep our health fit and the environment clean for us too and for our future generations too. Thank you.
Over to you now, judges.
Good presentation, Ananya.
Thank you, sir.
Do you know that you have mentioned that smokeless tobacco is also very harmful, and you linked, you said smoking and COVID. You said that there is no, currently there is no research. Actually, there is. People who smoke are more vulnerable.
Yes.
But I want to ask you whether you are aware that people who use smokeless tobacco, who chew tobacco, okay, do they cause harm to the society also? Can you, or
Who
any?
use smokeless tobacco, they don't harm the society, but they harm themselves. So it's the same thing if you harm society or you harm yourself, because you are reducting one person from, if you are harming yourself, that's not good for you only.
Good answer, Ananya. But I want to just point out to you and to everybody here that people who chew tobacco, they produce 300% more spit in their mouth. And those who are chewing tobacco cannot swallow it because tobacco has a very dirty taste, you can't swallow it easily. So they go and spit all over the place. And I know that some of you here are from, Sanskar is from Calcutta. Do you know that the Havra Bridge was actually falling down because so many people chewing tobacco were spitting on it?
Yes.
They did an engineering study and they realized that spit was eroding all those pillars, the original Havra Bridge, the old Havra Bridge, right? And they had to reinforce that bridge so that it would not fall down, and that was because of spitting caused by you know because of chewing tobacco. And do you know that when you chew tobacco and you spit, you spread COVID? So the government has banned spitting in public places because of it spreads COVID. And as soon as the pandemic started, the government, all India, banned spitting in public places. And not only does spitting cause COVID, and it also cause, spreads TB and many other diseases. And it is all being caused because of people, 90% is because of people who chew tobacco and then spit it everywhere. So just like we need to stop smoking, we need to stop spitting. And that will stop chewing tobacco also.
Very nice presentation, Ananya. Just a little question. Are your parents doctors? Is any of your parent a doctor?
No.
That's very insightful for a sixth grader to bring through, about, being aware about COVID and tobacco and how it, increases risk. I think that is very, very insightful. We can all be very, very hopeful about our future. Very well done, Ananya.
Thank you, ma'am.
A great presentation. Moving on to our next contestant, Diksha Arora. You may share your screen.
Yeah. Nick?
Good morning, dear judges and my dear friends. Today I, Diksha of class 7th, I am going to present a presentation on harmful effects of tobacco. So actually, what is tobacco? Tobacco is a plant also known as Nicotiana tabacum. Its leaves contains nicotine, which is the very dangerous chemical. It can harm us. Then these leaves are dried and fermented and aged, and these processed leaves are now used in tobacco products. Some of the tobacco products are like smoked tobacco products, smokeless tobacco products, and heated tobacco products. Smoked tobacco products are cigarette, cigar, pipe, water pipe, smokeless like chew, snus, and snuff. Is chewing tobacco is safer than the smoking tobacco? It's really not, as there is a term called a second-hand smoke. I will say in the next slide. Smokeless tobacco is equals to not harmless. That's really wrong. Chewing tobacco may not produce smoke, but it doesn't mean that it is harmless. It contains over 3,000 chemicals. 28 are known to cause cancer, higher level of nicotine than cigarette use, and it can lead to heart problems, stomach problems, tooth and gum problems, white patches or sores in the mouth, addiction to nicotine. Chewing tobacco enhances sport performance. No, it doesn't enhance our sport performance. Smoking doesn't hurt anyone else but me. No. Second-hand smoke, as I was saying. Smoke breathed out by smoker and smoke from burning end of cigarette pipes composed of nearly 4,000 different chemicals and over 150 toxins including carbon monoxide. There's no safe level of secondhand smoke. Everyone is at risk even if you don't smoke. There are some of the symptoms of children and secondhand smoke like coughing and wheezing, asthma, sore throats and cold, eye irritation, hoarseness, etc. Smokeless tobacco. As we know, it's very dangerous than the smoked tobacco like chew, snuff, perk, leaf, and dip are all forms of smokeless tobacco. And if you hold the average sides and dip in your mouth for 30 minutes, you will get as much as nicotine you would need for 2 to 3 cigarettes. American Indian teenager girls have the highest prevalence rate of spit tobacco, and nearly 43% of Indian youth in Northwest use spit tobacco. Smokeless tobacco also contains 28 cancer-causing chemicals. One of caffeine is equal to 3 packs of cigarettes. Snuff dippers consume an average 10 times more cancer-causing substance than cigarette smokers. Effects of smokeless tobacco: tooth aberration, gum disease, gum recession, heart disease and stroke, cancer in the mouth, voice box, esophagus, and pancreas, increased heart rate, increased blood pressure, bad breath, reduces sense of smell. Tobacco and its environment. Cigarette butts never completely decompose, and people throw these cigarette butts here and there like in sea water or land, through which the birds also get harmed and the marine environment also. Tobacco and cancer. Lung cancer is the number one cause of cancer death among Indian women. Women death increases due to lung cancer have risen 600% since 1950. About 90% of lung cancers that are attributed to smoking. Chewing tobacco and snuff contains 28 different carcinogens. Tobacco and cancer. Smoking is a major cause of cancer of base of a tongue and bladder among women. Women who smoke have increased risk for cancer of the pancreas and kidneys. Larynx and esophagus cancer rates has also elevated. Tobacco and cancer. As we can see this picture, one picture shows that the healthy lungs, which has a non-smoker and small cancer in the smoked lungs. Cancerous tumor in lung. Benefits of quitting tobacco. 20 minutes after quitting your blood pressure and pulse rate will return to normal. After 24 hours, your lungs start to clear out the mucus. Coughing is actually a good sign. After 1 year, your risk of having a heart attack is cut in half. After 10 to 15 years after quitting, your risk of coronary heart decreases in the same as who has never smoked. Thank you.
Over to the judges now.
Yeah, excellent presentation, Diksha. I'm glad you highlighted so much of smokeless tobacco. Do you know what percentage of people use smokeless tobacco versus smokers, people who smoke?
Sir, can you again repeat your voice?
Yeah.
Very
So, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm saying, I'm glad you brought out smokeless tobacco. Do you know what percentage or how many, how many times or how many people use smokeless tobacco versus people who smoke?
Sir, 60% of people use smokeless tobacco.
60% of Indians or 60% of tobacco users?
Sir, tobacco users.
Okay, good. Well, actually, the number is more than that, but I'm glad you are aware of it and I'm glad you brought that out. For your information, only 4% people of adults in India smoke cigarettes. 8% people smoke BD. Okay, smokers combined, that means BD and cigarette together add up to about 10%. but the number of smokeless users are 24%. So the number of smokeless users are much more than those who smoke, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
so, and I'm glad you brought out in your presentation about the harms of which smokeless tobacco is also causing in our society. Thank you, Diksha.
Diksha, I have a small question for you.
Yes, sir.
Do you know of any law against tobacco usage? Any law,
Yes, sir.
regulation?
I know a law. Um,
Any law, anything related to schools, in public places, in transport?
yeah, sir, our law was in 2015. That law was, I can't remember, so just a minute.
Anything about in school campuses or in around religious places?
Yes, sir, no, for no spitting and so, the cigarette butts which make the pollution through which the animals are harmed, the marine life are harmed.
So around 100 meter from any campus, there should be no selling point for tobacco material.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is something you, all of you here, should make sure that around your schools and campuses, it should be a tobacco-free education area.
Yes.
And there should be a display of board within your school also. If you talk to your teachers and principals, a lot can happen.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it?
Surely I will talk.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.
Sanskaar, if you will allow me, as Diksha and Ananya pointed out,
Your voice is very low.
तो संजय जी आपकी आवाज बहुत कम है यार.
आप सुनाई दे रहा है?
बेटर.
हाँ जी. Yeah, as Diksha and Ananya pointed out, that tobacco is not only bad for the health, it is bad for the environment. Do you know that for smoking tobacco, for every 1 kilo of tobacco being used in cigarettes, 8 kilos of forest have to be burnt to cure the tobacco?
Yes, sir.
So every year a forest the size of Delhi is being burnt just to produce cigarettes in India. So also the cigarette butts and BD butts and gutka packets, they are the biggest cause of litter in our country, in fact in the world. They pollute the drains and they block everything. So it is and we have recently, and all the doctors were involved, Dr. Harit was involved, Dr. Pawan, all of the doctors were also involved. We filed a case with the National Green Tribunal. That case ran for 5 years, and only recently, last month, the National Green Tribunal, which is like a court in India, environment court, they have ordered that cigarette companies should come out with a guideline on how to manage the waste of cigarette butts. That means you can't just throw cigarette butts, because cigarette butts are also non-biodegradable. Do you guys know what non-biodegradable means? That means the cigarette butts don't biodegrade. They pollute the environment for years and years, So now NGT has asked the pollution board to come out with guidelines. That means cigarette companies have to now start thinking of how to manage those cigarette butts that people are throwing here and there. Okay, this is just for your information.
What is coming out that all these laws are made because of people awareness, and you are the future, you are the people, and the implementation of laws also is on our hands. So you will define what will happen when you grow up, what should happen, what is acceptable and not acceptable. Good.
Yes, Ananya, you wanted to ask a question?
Yes, I want to add what you sir said, that for example, if a person is using tobacco or using cigarette and he is in the forest area and he just fire it and just throw it, so it can be the cause of wildfire.
Brilliant.
Very, very good. Where did you read that, Ananya?
No, actually, it came in my mind when you were saying, and I did a MUN of environment program, so I was knowing something about environment. That's
Yes. Do you know that the maximum number of fires are being caused because of, carelessly people are throwing cigarette butts around? After they finish smoking, they throw the cigarette butt away, and maximum number of cause of fire is because of this.
Household fire also.
Yes, household, industrial.
Yes, all areas.
And there are many instances in the news where people have died because of this fire caused by cigarette butts. So very good, excellent. This thing, Ananya.
Recently, in one of the Air Force show at Bangalore, lot of cars were gutted down just because of the cigarette butt fire. This was last year only.
And the recent fire in California was also caused by careless throwing of a cigarette butt. So
very correct.
And also, there was a wildfire in Brazil wetland, largest wetland. The cause was also of that only.
You were a very smart girl, Ananya.
Thank you, ma'am.
An insightful presentation. Moving on to our next contestant, Aditi Gupta. You may share your screen.
Thank you. Good morning everyone, this is Aditi Gupta and I'm a student of class 8. Here I begin with my presentation. Awareness about the harmful effects of tobacco. Tobacco and cancer. Cancer is the growth of abnormal cells. There are more than 100 types of cancer, but out of all cancers, tobacco-related cancer accounts for a major share. Harmful effects of tobacco. Tobacco chewing has resulted in a huge burden of oral cancers and oral precancerous conditions, whereas smoking tobacco is responsible for increased cases of lung cancer. Tobacco use is also associated with rising incidence of tuberculosis, heart ailments, strokes, bronchitis, delayed healing of wounds, infertility, and peptic ulcer. Despite the ban on advertising and sale of tobacco products to minors and smoking in public places, India has one of the world's weakest regime for warning people against the use of tobacco. Smokeless tobacco use can lead to nicotine addiction, cause cancer of the mouth, esophagus and pancreas, cause diseases of the mouth, increase the risk for death from heart disease and stroke. Tobacco use is a major preventable cause of premature death. More than 10 million people die each year due to tobacco in India. India accounts for approximately 1/6 of the world's tobacco-related deaths. Magnitude of the problem. In India, tobacco added a major burden on the total cancer cases. Tobacco causes one death every 6 seconds, yet India is the second leading consumer. Every third adult consumes some form of tobacco. All tobacco products contain nicotine that makes them addictive as well as adversely affects the heart. Though the ill effects of tobacco addiction are well known, its consumption hasn't gone down. Tobacco-related cancers constitute 27.1% of all cancers in India. Number of tobacco-related cancer cases in India are projected to increase by 13% by 2025. Ways to regulate the use of tobacco. Standardized packaging of smokeless tobacco products. The smokeless tobacco products are generally sold in very small packs at a very low price, resulting in high access to minors. Besides, it also makes the pictorial health warnings less visible and rather ineffective. Therefore, government should standardize the packaging of all tobacco products. Protection of minors and increasing legal age for sale of tobacco products. Addiction to tobacco use is least if the age of experimentation is delayed beyond 25 years. Therefore, the legal age for sale of tobacco products should be fixed beyond 21 years as already prescribed for sale of alcohol. retail licensing for the sale of tobacco products. In the absence of retail licensing, there is mushrooming of tobacco vendors, making it difficult to control minors' access and enforcing other tobacco measures. Retail licensing will limit the number of tobacco vendors. Regulation of product content and emissions. Unlike cigarettes, the contents and emissions of smokeless tobacco are not well established. Therefore, it is necessary to analyze the chemical constituents, toxicity, and emissions of smokeless tobacco products and make people aware about it. A comprehensive approach to tobacco taxation. All tobacco products, including tobacco leaves, should be taxed at the highest level of taxation in the country. Increased tax will reduce its consumption, thereby preventing the diseases caused by its use. Strengthening tobacco cessation services. The cessation counseling facilities should be integrated with the community health centers, and all healthcare workers should be trained for basic cessation services, including counseling. Nicotine replacement therapy, where necessary, should be made available as part of essential medicine. Tobacco farming and livelihood. Loss of livelihood for farmers and workers remains an area of concern for the government while implementing tobacco control measures. Ministry of Health and Ministry of Agriculture should be initiated to enhance research on alternative crops for tobacco growers. Prevent youth from tobacco addiction. To prevent youth from tobacco addiction, government and non-government organizations must conduct awareness programs in high schools and colleges. Parents must talk to their teen early and often about the dangers of smoking and vaping. Though government has taken up many measures to reduce the use of tobacco, they prove not to be so effective. Sale to and by minors is banned. However, its legal enforcement remains a challenge. There is a ban on the sale of tobacco products within 100 yards of an educational institution, but this provision is also violated. Therefore, it's necessary for the government to be strict and make more effective laws for reducing the use of tobacco. There is a need for implementing innovative and evidence-based strategies, including a ban on promotion and sale of tobacco products via the internet, while preventing the introduction of any new variety of tobacco product or other novel or imitation product in the market. 10 ways to quit tobacco. Begin with reducing the number of times you intake each day and increase the amount of time between each intake. Stock up on replacements for tobacco. For example, try chewing gum, mouth freshener, mint, etc. Fix a quitting date and stick to it. After quitting, avoid having tobacco at any cost. Remember the 4 Ds: delay, deep breathe, drink water, do something else. Write about the disadvantages of tobacco and benefits of quitting it. Remind yourself that getting used to life without tobacco requires time and not to give up. Remove all the snuff, tobacco leaves, cigarette and related products from your home and vehicle. Join cessation programs. Use nicotine replacement therapy if needed. Get support of your family and friends. Tell them about your plan. Join support team. Use diversionary activities to deal with cravings. Exercise regularly, go for a walk, read books, join some sport, etc. Just make every day a no tobacco day. Thank you.
Over to you now, judges.
Aditi, you have made a very nice presentation. Absolutely, all the points you have covered up. I want to ask you one very important thing, Aditi. Of
Yes,
all
sir.
the things that you have mentioned, right? This should be done, this should be done, that should be done, these are the things. What are you going to do to change the tobacco use and change or create awareness in the society? See, these are all nicely copied from the internet. What
So
are
we
you?
need to support the government to do this, and we need to aware the people about its use. Though the government has done many things, but people still use it and continue using it. Therefore, we should make people aware about it and tell them.
We means what are you going to do? You just tell
what you will do.
What you are going to do.
Say we
to
don't
create
own
this.
anything. When you say I will do this, you will own it. So he's asking what you will do to make a change.
Sir, I as a student can just aware people about it, and just like I can request the government personally for improving the laws and being strict towards the people who use tobacco.
Owning is important as individual.
And Aditi, one of the things that you mentioned about tobacco cessation activities, Dr. Pawan Gupta is a pioneer of sorts in trying to, run these tobacco cessation clinics, and he runs one in our hospital, and he's taken it out to a large population, and that I'm sure is his aim to reach the last man standing, to make sure that, people are aware. See, you are right in a way that, if you're not aware, you obviously don't understand what is the impact of such things. And it will happen only when there is awareness, and creating awareness in whatever form is our responsibility. And Dr. Sanjay Seth and his organization also do a great job by making people aware. And most of the time he comes back and tells us, that the participants in the workshop say that हमें तो पता ही नहीं था कि इतना कुछ होता है इसके बारे में. So I think it is very, very important, and that is where you kids can also participate. You can always sign up with Mr. Sanjay Seth's organization or Dr. Pawan. He's always looking for volunteers, because as many as people invest time and energy into this, I'm sure it will become a great movement. Thank you.
I have a question for either Sanjay or Dr. Pawan, that where do we stand as the country in terms of regulation and implementation of anti-tobacco laws? Because I thought we are quite high up.
That is what I wanted to comment.
Aditi
Actually, Aditi, you made a comment that our laws are weak, and our warning is also we are the weakest. Actually, India is among the top 5 in the world in terms of warning, creating awareness. We were very bad, but thanks to current health minister Dr. Harshvardhan, whom Dr. Harit also knows very well personally, we increased the size of pictorial warning. That means they were warning on every packet to 85%. And in the last, between 2011 and 2017, India has, there has been a 6% reduction in prevalence, which is one of a very good record. I mean, normally, if you can achieve 1% per year reduction in prevalence, it is considered very good. India has a very good record in reducing, In fact, today, guys, and I'm addressing everybody here, I think we have very good laws. Our problem is not laws. Our problem is enforcement. We have good laws, but they are not enforced properly. Okay, gutka is banned, but you can still find gutka available. There is a lot of illegal sale of gutka going on. Similarly, a lot of other, laws are not being enforced, and that is where, as Dr. Harit and Dr. Pawan pointed out, that where school can really come in, because if you take ownership, if you say I will convince 5 other people besides myself to stop, and I will get those 5 people to also take ownership. What Dr. Harit kept pointing out, you have to take ownership. All right, that is the way to make sure that we save lives. So Sanskaar, back to you.
Yes. Moving on to our last contestant, Subhanshi Singh. You may share your screen.
Good morning to everyone. I am Shubhanshi Singh of class 7C. Today I am presenting my presentation on tobacco. Let's see. We all know what is tobacco and what is their effects. Now this tobacco is made a fashion for every people. We know some children are using tobaccos, and some heroines are using tobacco for their figures. And before, sometimes we have seen some actors arrested for using drugs. So let's start our presentation.
इसके बाद सिर्फ जजेस का ही है डायरेक्ट, तो उनको पहले बोल दो.
Harmful effects of tobacco. We know what is the harmful effect of tobacco. Smoking tobacco damage our heart blood vessels called cardiovascular systems. It is increase the risk of heart disease and strokes. It's a major cause of heart disease, which can lead to a heart attack or cancer. It also affects lungs and get diabetes, and also gets chronic obstructive pulmonary disease called COPD, which includes emphysema and chronic bronchitis. Smoking also decreases immune system, including rheumatoid arthritis. This is the picture which makes sure of mouth disease causing tobacco. This is the picture that makes sure what is the problems in our systems, body parts which are affected by tobacco. It is neck, lungs, stomach, kidney, pancreas, colon, bladder, cervix, etc.
तो इसके बाद उनको बुला लो.
Tobacco is the main causes of lungs. It affects our lungs and make us very dull. If a small immunity, if a person having small immunity use tobacco like cigarette, bidi, etc., will sometimes after will be going black. Thank you.
Judges, over to you.
Very good presentation, Shwanshi. I think you have brought out about health issues. So tell me something about, you know about the pictorial warning. We have discussed about it few times. What is the coverage recommended on picture on the packaging by the government of India?
We all know that government has banned tobacco, but we are using still. So in our packet, tobacco packet, it has some bad pictures that we have said that I have shown in my slide. But we are still not leaving the tobacco. It is a type of drug, and we also seen in news the actors are also using the drugs for making their figure. And in before sometimes we have seen some actress using the drugs. And they are arrested but now they are having bailed.
So, Banji, you do know that is a different form of addiction, and that does not necessarily be tobacco. But you're right. Any form of addiction is not desirable. Yeah.
How you differentiate addiction and habit? We are using the word addiction for a very long time, and there's something which is habit. We make certain habits.
Yes, if we are having the habit of tobacco, it makes that we can't leave it, and it is very difficult to leave. And if first time we have taking tobacco, it makes a very bad habit, and we can't leave it. And
example of one good habit. Any good habit you can talk about? Good habit. Maybe exercise?
Yeah, we can use water and other type of thing like chewing gums, and medicine is also come for leaving tobacco is we can call as narcotics, and we can also exercise for leaving it. We can make sure that we don't see the packets of tobacco, so it will be making leaving tobacco easily.
Thank you.
An insightful presentation. Due to some unavoidable issues, Dr. Pawan Gupta will be leaving soon. So please say a few words of encouragement.
Yeah, Sanskaar, thank you so much, and it has been a wonderful program. I think what all the judges, on behalf of all the judges, I want to thank all the judges also for the excellent presentation, and for giving that time for this program. But one thing that have all the judges, what everyone has put it, one thing is there, that is empowering each and every child. That is the most important. With empowerment, with knowledge comes empowerment, and with empowerment they can do a lot of things in the society. Sanskaar, what you have done today, you have empowered lot many people, lot many, 10 of them are here. What you have done, you would have spread out the knowledge and empowered lot many in the society. So this is how we can take this huge epidemic, that is tobacco epidemic, into the society with knowledge, and with knowledge we can bring a change. I really thank you, Sanskaar, and all the team Bliss, and all my colleague judges for being here, and I thank you. And I need to actually leave because I have to join another program. So I thank you very much. Have a great day. Thank you, sir.
Next is Mr. Sanjay.
I have sent
yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You were saying something.
I have sent it on the mail to Vinny, right?
Okay, fine.
That judging paper, right?
Next is Mr. Sanjay Seth. I will request sir to say a few words. Sir, please.
So, firstly, superb, Sanskar, that you organize this kind of an event. It is excellent. Your not just your organizational skills, but putting such an event together, and this was done very well. So, my congratulations to you, and we really appreciate that you have done this. My appreciation, of course, to all the people who supported you to do this also. As we are pointing out again and again, you see, the big problem with tobacco is that 90% people start when they are before the age of 20, and so the 10 years to 20 is the age which 90% of the people start tobacco. And once they have started, they become addicted, and only 3% people in India are able to quit. And I'm telling you from my experience, I have smoked for 25 years. Right? It's very, very difficult to quit. So you can have two strategies. One is we keep asking people to quit all their lives, and maybe 3%, 4%, 5% will agree to quit or manage to quit. Not agree, but manage to quit, because the people who agree to quit is 70%. 70% will try to quit, but they can't. Or we can do is that, and which is what you have done, which you guys, all of you have done, is that stop people from starting. So I am seeing that, a lot of you are not seeing your friends, in your classes who are using tobacco, because they don't do it in school. They do it outside. And I'm sure when you look around, you will find, some other fellow students who are on the sly going and trying, experimenting. They will try one cigarette because at home their fathers smoke, their uncles smoke, right? And it is very important that they don't start, and that the way to not start is when, like all of you have done, is taking ownership. You see, by doing a presentation like this, I am very, very confident that none of you people who have come on this show or this presentation today will ever touch tobacco, because you have internalized and absorbed how bad it is, right? So this is exactly what needs to be done. All the nukkad nataks have to be done. The presentations like this have to be done. You have to go and talk to your other fellow friends, and definitely, as some of the other judges also pointed out, if you see any of your friends using tobacco, don't feel shy. Be very bold. Tell them it's stop, because at this age you can stop. If you have already been smoking for 5 years, it's very difficult to stop. So my sincere, everybody did a wonderful job of presentations. I know that a lot of you had to, did research on the net, and I'm sure, that's where you got your information, like I do. But to be able to put those thoughts together, to do that research and put a cohesive presentation together, superb. Excellent work. My congratulations to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next, I would request Dr. Harit Chaturvedi to enlighten us with his words. Sir, please.
Mute pe ho, sir. You are muted.
Oh, sorry. So thank you very much, Sanskaar and Bliss Foundation, for having me this morning, for exposing me to this wonderful platform where so many young friends have come together. And I must say that any competition leads to first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, but that actually doesn't mean anything to me. I've always seen in life a first can become 10th or 100th, and a 10th can become first. Just because you have to put things in order, there is a compulsion. So it has been very difficult for us as judges, at least for me, to really rank you people. So each one of you is an ambassador of this anti-tobacco campaign. And you are a power which Mr. Sanjay said very well, that you will never touch, and I'm sure you will influence hundreds and thousands of people in your life. So don't shy away from doing anything right and voicing anything which is right and correct, because that is where the change begins. And I will strongly urge each one of you to take ownership of whatever you have in mind. Because see, when we use the word we always exclude ourselves from the responsibility. That is a huge tendency which is all around. When we say we means everybody except me. So that should not happen. You should say, I will do this, I will own this, I will bring this change this morning, and that is very important. And as we have seen since morning, how one addiction can spoil lives, so many diseases, families, homes. We have not talked about the impact on family economy. We have seen the impact on environment. So one addiction can spoil so many things. Likewise, one good habit can change your life forever, whether it's a habit of eating properly, exercising, getting up in the morning, sleeping early, so many things. And we all know in our heart what are good habits, what are bad habits. So you pick up one good habit and this will change your life forever. This will continuously have a transformative effect on your life and empower you. So if I have to give a single suggestion, because these are very young minds, so I'm very much tempted to speak what I want to say, that if I have to give one suggestion, I will say, Open your mind to the world outside. Lot of times we create walls around us. We don't allow others' ideas to come in. And this is also one of the challenges we live in. When we engage ideas, there is a silo created around me. I don't allow others' ideas to enter. So if I don't allow that wall to be erected at a young age, I will grow much faster. Then people will be happy to talk to me. And as I will hear them, I will listen to them, I will absorb their ideas, I will grow as a person. We stop growing because we stop listening. We have our own echo chamber and ecosystem where we keep thinking we are doing this, that, and so that is where the transformation happens. So each one of you are a power in yourself, are an ambassador of not just tobacco campaign, of a good society, of an empowered society. Just go on and live your life with full throttle energy and enthusiasm. It will change everything. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, sir. I would now request Mrs. Nidhi Agrawal to say a few words. Ma'am, please.
Thank you so much everyone to attend this program. और बच्चों को बहुत बहुत थैंक यू, बहुत अच्छा प्रेजेंटेशन दिया सभी बच्चों ने. स्पेशली संजय सेठ सर का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, पवन सर का, हरित सर का, डॉक्टर गीता, रेवा, रश्मि जी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. थैंक यू सो मच.
Thank you, ma'am. I would next request Dr. Geeta Kadyaprath, ma'am, to say her words of encouragement for the young minds. Ma'am, please.
Thank you very much, Sanskaar. It is such a wonderful way to spend a Sunday morning. You cannot imagine what children can bring to the table. I think the energy itself, when I see so many young people in this frame, I think it augurs well for everybody. And in class 6th and 7th and 8th, if you could conceive such things and bring it to the fore, I think it's such a tremendous job. And I would like to thank Sanskaar. I don't know what made you conceive this and bring it to the table. It's not easy at your age to be able to conceive something which is in the larger interest of the society. So while we empower ourselves to become bigger, you must make the circle around you bigger also. So you're 10 of us, so it has to be a multiplier effect. What you do alone is multiplied into 10, is multiplied into 10. So the circle just gets bigger, and you can be the like I said, the torch bearers of the change. Whatever you think is possible to do. If there is the thought in the mind, I am sure it is possible to give it that meaning and to make it happen. So it's been a wonderful experience, and a lot has been said about tobacco, but just remember, if somebody has to create that change, it is going to be you. Every generation has to go through its own struggles, and who better than Mr. Sanjay? It just keeps moving. You have to be optimistic. You have to keep pushing the bar. You have to make people more aware, and try and bring about that change. And don't say it'll not happen. The moment you say it's not going to happen, like I am a huge believer in the fact that the universe also conspires against you. The moment you say that it is going to happen, it is going to happen because of me and all those people I collaborate with, it is going to happen. And we have to aim for a tobacco-free society. You think about a tobacco-free society, and that is when you will start taking steps to making it happen. Thank you very much, and congratulations to each one of you. Each one of you did a wonderful job. Don't worry too much about who comes first, second. It's just a number. But this is a stepping stone to many big things that you're going to make happen. Thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, you said that for some campaigns, you all need some volunteers.
Yes. So, Dr. Pavan is somebody who's running a volunteer program. He creates tobacco marshals. So if you wish to be a tobacco marshal, you can be a tobacco marshal. You can get in touch with him, or Mr. Sanjay Seth, who is collaborating with, I don't know how many, 40,000 students over several schools. Mr. Sanjay, Mr. Seth.
Actually, right now we have 70,000 schools. So the number is a lot more, but we are working with a lot of schools, and we'll be very happy to have young ambassadors like you with us. So please.
Sir, we are not able to hear you.
Yes, sir, your voice is a little.
I said, yeah. Can you hear me now, Sanskaar?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah, I'm saying is that yes, we are right now working with about 70,000 schools, and we'll be very happy to have young people like you involved with us. Please drop me a WhatsApp message or a email, and we'll be happy to take your help in this crusade.
So, sir, can you tell in which all cities like this campaigns or schools are there?
Yeah, so we have a campaign called Pledge for Life, Pledge for Life, Tobacco Free Youth. Okay, and basically the campaign is to make your own school tobacco free. Right now, Government of India has come out with an advisory that there are 9 criteria to be met to make your school tobacco free. Alright, you have to put up a signboard saying that no use smoking inside the school. You have to put a sign outside the school that tobacco cannot be sold within 100 yards. You have to make sure that there is no evidence of tobacco use inside your school campus. That means no cigarette butts, BD butts can be found. You have to put up anti-tobacco poster inside your school. You have to organize one anti-tobacco activity every 6 months, like you have done right now. This is an anti-tobacco activity. So if you can do every 6 months, get all the students. You could give them a pledge during assembly. You can ask your principal and give a pledge to all the students. That we will not touch tobacco. We will not let other people, around us use tobacco. So one activity, you can do a Nukkad Natak, you can do a play, a street play, which is a Nukkad Natak. You can do a rally. So there are many activities you can do. All right, and then of course your school has to appoint a tobacco monitor. That means there are 1, 2, 3 people who are tobacco monitors. That means they will make sure that all these laws, etc., all this whole program is followed in your school. And finally, you have to report. You have to report to the authorities if there is any tobacco shop, any shop selling tobacco product within 100 yards of your school. So if you see, yes, when you walk out of your school, yes, see that shop is selling tobacco. So you go and report it to your principal, and then it is your principal's duty to report it to the authorities. Then they can come and remove that. So if you fulfill these 9 criteria, then your school becomes tobacco-free educational institution. So we are now trying to make all, thousands of schools tobacco free.
Yes, sir.
I will next request.
So, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Continue.
So we have to inform you that we are doing this in our school, or without informing you, we can just talk to our principal.
We'll be happy to support you. To help you meet this. This is a Government of India initiative which we are working to make it happen. So you can just inform us what your school name, details, etc., and then we'll put you in our list of schools. And then when this happens, we'll supply you various support material, etc., and we'll figure out if because if you are not in our territory, we have to figure out how to support you. But please get in touch.
So, sir, I don't have any of your email ID or WhatsApp number.
Yes. So may I request the organizers to please share it amongst all the participants, please?
Yes.
Okay, sir. I will do that.
Thank you, Nidhi ji.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I will next request Mrs. Rashmi Golia to present her views. Ma'am, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible, Sanskaar?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. And thanks for giving me this responsibility. And although it's a very tough role to do judgment for these kinds of things where everyone is like, we can say, एक से बढ़कर एक, इनमें से किसको चुनना है. Still we tried to do our best. कोई किसी में अच्छा था, कोई किसी चीजों में अच्छा था. And as Geeta ma'am said, I also feel very fortunate कि ये Sunday बहुत अच्छा spend हुआ. Like I'm also feeling involved in this such a noble cause. And I congratulate organizers, Bliss Foundation, and especially Sanskaar. An 8th class student, आज के दौर में, like I get invitation from various NGOs as a jury member or various post holders. I visit there, but organizers are basically all grown up. पहली बार ऐसा कुछ मैं अटेंड कर रही हूँ जिसमें एक 8th क्लास का स्टूडेंट, लाइक हमें समझ में आ रहा है हाउ अ फ्यूचर इज, द फ्यूचर ऑफ अ कंट्री इज लाइक, बहुत अच्छे कंधों पर है, जो इस टाइप की चीजें ऑर्गेनाइज कर रहा है. बिकॉज पेरेंट्स स्कोल्ड देयर चिल्ड्रन, लाइक दिन भर यू आर स्पेंडिंग योर टाइम ऑन सोशल नेटवर्किंग साइट्स या कंप्यूटर या मोबाइल या इंटरनेट पे आप लोग इतना टाइम वेस्ट करते हो. बट संस्कार इज नाउ एन एग्जाम्पल कि हाउ ये सब चीज़ों को कितना अच्छा बेस्ट यूटिलाइज किया जा सकता है. एंड दैट ऑल्सो इन दिस पेंडेमिक टाइम इतनी अच्छी चीज़ लेकर के ये बच्चा आया. और सबसे बड़ी बात, इतने सारे जिन भी पार्टिसिपेंट्स को इन्वॉल्व किया, इसी बहाने कम से कम और 10-20 लोग उसके साथ में जुड़े और हम सब लोग भी इसी में इन्वॉल्व हुए. सो आई रियली फील गुड ये सारी चीज़ें देख कर के. आई कैन से सो पार्टिसिपेंट्स को सबको कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस. विनर डजंट मैटर्स कौन है, यू ऑल ट्राइड योर बेस्ट. आप सबने बहुत अच्छा किया. कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस टू यू ऑल.
Due to some unavoidable issues, Mr. Sanjay Seth will be leaving soon. Thank you, sir, for taking out your valuable time for our campaign. Have a wonderful afternoon. Next, I would request Mrs. Reva Kumar ma'am to present her views. Ma'am, please.
First of all, Sanskaar, I would like to congratulate you for the wonderful initiative and pulling it through with everyone's support. I think all you kids have been amazing. And I am going back today inspired by each and every one of you. You've taught me so much. And, I guess, I have pledged towards this and I'm going to take that pledge strongly forward. Keep going. All the best to all of you. And, may you rise and shine in whatever you choose to do.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Now the time has come for which all our participants must be waiting very anxiously. Yes, I have the final results. Here we go. Second consolation goes to Shrika Swami Setti. The first consolation goes to Diksha Arora. The third prize goes to Aditi Gupta. The second prize goes to Rishi Raj. And the first prize goes to Ananya Thakur. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you.
Now we have reached the end of our event. I would like to thank all our judges for taking out their valuable time for our campaign. I would like to thank Mrs. Nidhi Agrawal, founder, Bliss Foundation, without whose support and guidance this event would have not been a grand success. Lastly, I would like to thank all the participants and their parents, without whose efforts and support this event would have not been possible. Thank you and have a wonderful